Hello and welcome. I'm putting another video together, just some stuff that I've been wanting to talk about, and one of the things I've been wanting to talk about is distortion. The distortion we see, like looking on Google Earth or whatever, of these carcasses, and they don't look like they actually should. Some of them you can't even recognize, and that is because of all the decomposition, they're decomposed. Lots of pieces are missing, lots of it's rounded off, worn down, if that makes sense, and you can't really tell what it is. And so I'm going to get into that a little bit, but I want to show you this here first. This is muscle. This is muscle. Okay, this is not cross-bedded sand like they want you to believe. I believe this is in Arizona or Utah. I'll show you some more of it here. There's some more of it there. And into this. This is all muscle back in here, and a lot of it's eroded and gone. And this erosion and a lot of it being gone is what we run into as far as being able to tell what things look like. Okay? And I'll get into that a little bit and explain some things here. Now I understand this is very hard for people to comprehend, to understand that the Earth is actually biological and not geological. As you can see right in here, this is muscle over here that is not worn down like this has been. There's so much of it that's missing that it makes it look distorted when we start looking on Google Earth. Okay, now you can see the muscle structure in here, and a lot of it's eroded and gone. I don't know if it's from the waterfall over time or whatever, but you see the muscle in here that is just still, you can see what it is. I mean, it is what it is. But I wanted to show you this because this is some really good, this is some of the best pictures I've found or video of muscle. I don't believe it's striated muscle. I'm actually not sure what kind it is, but you can see it's all not melted but rotted. It's rotted flesh. That's what this is. See more of it here. Look at this off to the right. Look at this right in here. I mean, you can see it's exactly what you're thinking it is exactly what it is. Rotted meat. Okay? And then it's petrified like that. Seriously. Well, academia and those that think they hold the keys to knowledge, look at this in here. They would like us to believe that we just evolved from dirt and gas that became super smart and evolved into everything you see before your eyes. That is what they, over billions and billions of years, that is what they would like for us to believe and leave a creator out of the picture. But that is not the case, and I'm going to get into some of it right here and show you some things. I'm trying not to make this video too long. But I'll show you where there's distortion. There's so much distortion because so much is missing. Things look smeared. They don't look like they should look. And so it gets to be, when you look on Google Earth trying to find things, sometimes it's hard to recognize what they are. Also, there's volcanism, liquid biology that's on top of the creatures themselves. So you got to be careful calling things a creature when it might have been volcanic and it just looks like it might be a creature. You understand what I'm saying? If that makes sense? Now there's a lot of this stuff that we're just not going to understand. You know, it's hard for the human mind to fathom something like this. That, you know, creatures on the scale that they are on and the magnitude that they are on. And it didn't, you know, we're not here from a big bang and dirt that's just got really smart. You know, that's just not true, man. And so, here, let me read something to you. This might explain things a little better. It does for me when I start, you know, things get too much for me to handle. This is the Lord speaking to Isaiah, his prophet, when he tells him, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways, says the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. See, God don't think like we do. He's not thinking, you know, momentarily. He thinks eternally. And it's hard for academia to accept that there's a creator, and that's what this is all about. It's always been a spiritual battle. They think they figured out creation without a God, and they think they hold the keys to the knowledge, and that you know we can't possibly know what they know, and that's not true whatsoever. So anyway, I digress. Let's move on. Okay, this is a good example. This is Bryce Canyon National Park. Do you see all this slough? This is biology, by the way. This is probably muscle, I'm sure, over in here. Looks like striated muscle. But so much of it is rotted and gone. It's missing. You can see how it's all sloughed off and everything, all rounded off. And this, just an example. Let me show you another one. Okay, here's a good one. You see all this in here? This is all that's left of what was probably this big at one time. This was all filled in, and now it's all eroded and gone, and all you have is what you see before your eyes. This is probably, looks like a lot of muscle. I seen like in Zion National Park, a lot of pinup muscle in there, I believe, which I don't know if it's in the shoulder or what it is. But if you take a look, this is all deteriorated. It's all eroded, decomposed. These creatures are really decomposed, and so it makes things look smeared from Google Earth, or distorted, if that makes sense. Okay, you see this in here? This was probably all solid at one time, but it's all eroded down with the stuff that's that eroded first, basically. That's not tough enough to stay behind. And over time, look how it's eroded down, so it doesn't even look like it originally looked. And this is what gives us a lot of the distortion we see, that things don't look like they should look. They don't look crisp, they don't look clear, they look just all smeared. I hope that's making sense. Okay, here's another one. See how all this, see, you got, try this is more solid, but all this is missing. I mean, it's look how these are in here in lines though. There's biology in here somehow, but it's all eroded around it, and it's all gone. Most of it's gone, and what's left behind is what we see, but there's a lot of it just missing. Whatever was up on top, you know, is missing if there was stuff there, the skin layer, whatever, but a lot of it's missing. Okay, I've brought you guys this stuff before. This is north of me in Oregon and Washington. This is basalt columnars. Actually, they call this pillow basalt. They say it forms in these oceans and it gets scrubbed off by glaciers, and then we can see it, which is total not true. These are, I believe these are muscle fibers, the fibers themselves, and then you got the transition part on top. Let me find you another spot. But I want to show you where all this is missing. Whatever was on top is missing, and that's all that you can see sitting there. So it really throws the picture off in what we're looking at. And these are pictures of the fibers from the top, and see how they're all rounded off, and whatever was on top is missing. So when we get on Google Earth looking at these carcasses, they don't look like they should look, and that's what I'm getting at, this distortion. Here's more over here. But see, there's so much that's missing that is not here no more. And we're walking on it, or it gets washed or moved around all over the planet from the Great Flood. A lot of stuff got moved around, a lot of carcasses, things like that. So things aren't actually sitting where they were at one time either. Anyway, so I brought you this biology before, and you know these lines here, you know, because each one's the way they're formed in the body. And I believe these are muscle fibers, if I remember right. But a lot of it's missing or thing. But and people always ask me, well, how can you say this biology is so big? You know how big these creatures would have to be? You know, it's just impossible, and on and on. And I'll show you the biology. So anyway, yeah, I wanted you to see a little bit of this right here. This is really good stuff. These are not feeder dikes. These are not from. It's not what they're calling it. That's why there's no working models for any of this stuff on the planet. There's no working models for any of this. If you've been following my channel, I've been bringing you this bilipid membrane that's on a scale you can't imagine. It's just up from a cellular level, and I'll show you some more. Tendon balls on a scale you can't even imagine, and they're inside of your body too. That biology, this size of this tendon ball matches the biology, the size of the membrane. I brought this interstitial matting. This is on the upper layer of skin. Here it's still in the matting. Here the balls are out of the matting. I brought you this, and this interstitium matches the size of the membrane and the tendon balls. Then I brought you these hair follicles, and they're matching the size of the interstitium, the tendon balls, the membrane, yada yada. I've got valves. I've got vein valves, I've got arteries, and they all match the size. So what I'm saying is all this biology matches this, what it should be of one creature. Now I'm going to get into what that creature might be. Been bringing you stuff like this, where we got basically the cell matrix itself of one bundle, and then you got the tendon or the muscle fibers in the bundles themselves inside it. I mean, you can see with your own eyes, man. This stuff did not just get crapped out of the earth accidentally. Here's more of it here. Look at this stuff. Believe it or not, that's actually a creature. Okay, I'm going to get into it now. I got to get rid of all this stuff off here so we can see real well to get on here. Because one thing I do, I don't get on Google Earth very often. I haven't done a Google Earth video in a long time. So, but I'm going to today. Hold on here. Okay, so you've all seen this dragon here. This one here on the East Coast. And you see the bearding in here and all this. You know, this fluting. This is usually indicative of a dragon somewhere buried or whatever if you find it on Google Earth. That fluting you see right here. Okay, I'll show you more here in a minute. But the biology I have does not fit a creature this size. Okay, it don't. It's too big to fit that size of a creature. And then you've all, of course, everybody's seen the one, Roger Spur, this one over here in Morocco. The biology that I have is too big to fit this dragon, or even that fish. Okay? Well, Tyson, how can the heck, I mean, what biology would fit that? I'll show you. I don't like doing this because it freaks people out, but that right there is a head of a creature. I'm pretty sure it's a dragon. If you come down in here, you will see its horns up in here. One there, there's little small ones here, and then they're the same thing over on this side, identical. If you come down the bridge of its nose right here, you got the, what is that, the Tian Shan Mountains, and then you got the Borohoro Mountains over on this side. Those mountain ranges are right down the bridge of its nose. Now right down here in Wuhan, that's where its mouth is. Okay, Roger Spur's done a video on this with it's a lactating membrane right here around the eye. Okay, he's done a video on that. But that's, I mean, I don't like to do this. I don't use Google Earth that much anymore, but that's what that is. Now there's that, I mean, I know it's hard to even fathom, but that is not from tectonic plates scrubbing together and forming that. Okay, it just didn't happen with magic fairy dust. I mean, that's and this stuff's all over the planet, these creatures. Okay, now if you come up in here, there's more stuff, but there's stuff that's, you see this right in here, and the rest of whatever this is gone. It's over in here. There's so much stuff that's separated and there's so many things got moved around. Let me show you another place. Ireland and all that stuff. You know, this over here, this belongs together, and then it belongs back over here. This belongs turned right here. This piece right here belongs turned to match up and this close together. There's so much of this going on the earth that and plus what I've showed you with things being missing and moved around and rotted off, and so everything gets distorted. That's why that don't look perfectly like the head of a dragon or whatever. That's why they have a fascination in China and Mongolia with dragons, by the way, I believe. But that's the reason it don't look perfectly crisp and clear. It looks distorted and smeared, is because it's decayed and rotted. And I've just showed you where so much stuff is missing, and it's get floated around, moved around the planet or whatever, you know. And so that's what's going on. Okay, now I've been working on this for 2 years trying to figure out what this biology fits, because you got to be able to get in here and understand what's going on with all this stuff in here too. This has to be something. It can't just be, it's not from mountains, you know, like they're saying. So what is all this stuff in here? You know, when you get down in here, it's just, some of this stuff is just, you know, what is it? What would it be? So that's the stuff I've been working with. It has to be something, okay? And I've been working on the coastline here. Right up in here is where I've been working. In fact, right in here. Right in through here. All this coastline is what I've been working on. Okay, bringing you guys video. Right in through here. Now, what I believe this is, oopsie, this is a creature. A massive creature like the one in China, but this one is so rotted and decomposed, like I told you, stuff moving, because I just showed you stuff in Arizona, how it's all rotted, that it's all distorted. We can't really see it that well because it's so distorted. And then you got something laying right here. I believe this is part of an eye. And over here in California is another eye. That is what I believe is going on. up here in this coastline, we got some divots taken out in the Willamette Valley, and I'm trying to figure out where these divots are because of what I just brought you, of those basalt columars. They are in here. Okay? They are in here. And so you can see where I just showed you. Let me show you. Hold on just a minute. Okay, this is that area I'm just now showing you on Google Earth, and you can see where everything's gone and missing. So that's why it doesn't look like it should look. Okay? See, that's the area, and you don't see that. I mean, it's right in here, and you can't see that. I mean, it's yeah, it's that big divot. Oh, it's actually right in here. This is where those columnars are, right in here, and everything's missing, so it really distorts it. We can't see what it is. So the biology I have fits creatures this size. And this size. Okay? It doesn't fit the smaller ones like the dragon here. Now I believe this is its nose part running down this way. This is supposed to be closed together. Actually, you know, I'm going to leave it right there, and I'll do another video on this, and I'll explain things more, because there's other stuff laying on top of this back in here, and I don't know if this is the back end of it here, because it could look like a tail, but I have no idea. That's just pure speculation at this point. But this is, I'm almost positive, another creature like the one in China. I wanted to show you something before I go, because I want to show you, this is, Roger showed you, this is over in Germany and France. You know, you can see there's a creature laying right here. I mean, you can see its feet and its tail, but there's also one laying right. Hold on, let me get it rearranged here. Okay, now as I zoom in right in here, you're going to see, I believe it's a dragon laying right here. His head's right there. Now I can't, I mean, this thing is so populated, you can't get down in there and find biology. I've tried. It's just, human beings have covered every square inch of this. But I'm going to zoom into this. Its head's laying right here. Now the reason I'm saying this, I was going to show you guys this. Remember that fluting, that bearding? I believe this is its tip of its nose, this is its head. There's fluting right here. Eye here, and I believe an eye on this side. Now I can't prove this, I'm just showing you this speculation. But here's that fluting that comes off their chin and their sides. Their beard right here, okay? Now the rest of the creature is laying right here. I think its wings are spread out and he's laying flat like that. If you come in here and look, its head's right here, and the rest of it here. Now I could be totally wrong on that, but that's what I see. That's just what I see. I can't prove it with biology though. So I leave it at that. I can't prove this because I cannot prove the biology. So, but that's just what I see. You can see its head right here. Alright. I'm going to bug on out of here. And y'all have a great day. God bless. And you know, there's things we don't understand. The reason we don't understand is because we're dealing with God here, and His ways are not our ways.